What is your never again brand, item, store, or restaurant? Temptations cat treats. There's something in those things that turn cats into absolute junkies. AT&T from back in the days of long distance said they'd get me a good rate to Thailand, which we call all the time. Bill comes and it's 10x the advertised rate. I call. The first guy can't fix the bill. I escalate to a manager. He says, "You are correct. I'll fix your bill." Next day he calls back and says, "We've decided not to fix your bill." Ohio Savings Bank. They charged me $300 over the span of a year because, unlike normal debit cards, every time I put my PIN in instead of signing, it charged me an extra $1.50. By the time I caught it, most of the charges were past the 30-day refund policy, so they gave me $10 as a refund. I didn't make a fuss because I know it's not the worker's fault, but I did withdraw all my money immediately and switched banks. Duck that place. Hey there, are you subscribed yet? Please do. Also leave a like on this video to help out the channel. Planet Fitness. Moved back to my home state from SF. Forgot to cancel my membership. Tried from the app. Nope. Tried from my local Planet Fitness. Nope. Said I had to mail in a copy of my license ANS proof of membership. So I canceled that credit card because that was easier than getting my membership canceled. Dollar Tree shredded cheese. Just don't. Please don't be like me and try it. Yours Clothing. I got 3 hoodies for £72 plus £5 delivery, and they were the lowest possible quality you could imagine. Paper thin fabric and some sort of light plastic zipper. On 2 of the hoodies the zips were broke, the other one was on backwards. There was no design, just plain, but the coloring was off and some parts of it didn't look the same as they did on their online pics. One of them wasn't even the same size as the other 2 despite the label saying it was. That one also had some issue on the front. I took them back for a refund and the shop AskReddits were pretty shitty about it as well. I had to email if I wanted delivery refunded because they wouldn't do it in store. After all of that, I kept getting harassed by marketing texts even though in my account I unsubscribed from everything. DoorDash. When 50% of my orders never made it to me, and one of the drivers cusses me out for having the audacity to ask for my food, they go on the never again list. Sprint. Couple of years ago they let someone buy over $2,000 worth of phones in my mom's name. Didn't ask for ID or anything. They got an address but it was off by a couple of numbers. My mom didn't notice for a couple of months when her credit got flagged when they were trying to get approved for a loan or something. She fought with Sprint to get the charges removed from her credit. We've never had Sprint before, so don't know how that was a massive oversight, especially with no ID and the wrong address. Ashley Furniture tried to use the extra protection plan we brought for our sofa that broke. They picked it up and then they tried to deliver it back to the wrong address 4 goddamn times. We were without a sofa for a month and a half when we were told us it would be 7 days because they couldn't figure out how to update our ducking address. I literally had to go into a physical location because their phone customer service just couldn't figure out how to update a simple address and refused to escalate, and it was literal insanity. I wish I was exaggerating. I'm glad you are enjoying this video. Before we continue, don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment. Greyhound Bus. If you've got no other option, buckle up, it's going to get weird. Comcast. Jared. I went in with something specific in mind for a ring and asked the salesman to please show me what he had comparable to that criteria. Right off the bat he put his hands up and said, whoa, slow down. Just be calm. And quite frankly that set my teeth on edge because I don't think there's anything aggressive about truthfully answering the question, how can I help you, ya know? He then kept trying to get me a latte and telling me to relax and settle down, which was only serving to upset me more. When he finally got around to showing me merchandise, he showed me a ring that had an inclusion so large in the stone that it looked like a giant scratch through the middle. And when I said, this ring has a scratch in it, he insisted to me that I didn't know what I was looking at and that I wasn't properly appreciating the beauty of this ring. When I pointed out that I didn't even need a loupe to see the scratch, and asked if perhaps he had something else to show me, he told me this was the only stone I could possibly get for that price and that I would have to be willing to up my budget significantly. I thanked him and made to leave, and he made a shitty comment about how I'd never find anything as nice as what I showed him. I found something far superior at a local jeweler for an even better price. So yeah, whenever those stupid, he went to Jared, commercials come on I always yell out, you can tell because her ring has a ducking scratch in it. Whichever brands incessantly advertise at me. Dodge Ram. Bought new, had all service and oil changes done at the dealership. Paid above the monthly note and managed to pay it off about 6 months early. At 4.5 years 47k miles it throws a rod. Took the issue all the way up the chain. Was told that because the note was paid off, that we got our money's worth on the truck. Our expectation that our truck should function beyond the length of the loan was unrealistic. F***CK Dodge, ** never ** again. For me it's Sonic, restaurant not hedgehog. As someone who has worked their fair share in food industry, I'm always super understanding. Until the Sonic near my house gave me chemical food poisoning. The outside of the bag was covered in orange degreaser and some got into my food, but I didn't realize that until it was already consumed. Within 10 minutes of eating I felt immediately sick. I noticed a citrus smell on the bag and knew that it was the same degreaser my own restaurant uses. Haven't been to a Sonic since and I don't plan on going back. Tesco value baked beans. Target brand tampons. I'll skip the details. If you know, you know. Wells Fargo. 1. Fake account scandal. 2. Auto loan insurance scandal. 3. Mortgage loan scandal. Number 1. Changing customer terms. 4. Mortgage loan scandal. Number 2. 2008. 5. PPP loan scandal. Smoky Bones. I ordered up loaded nachos from them recently. It arrived. It was basically a pile of plain corn chips with maybe a tablespoon of cheese sauce. It included several tiny tablespoon portions of salsa, tomatoes, jalapenos, and sour cream. This was $13. Total waste of money. I will never order from them again. Victoria's Secret. Overpriced for meh quality. Spirit Airlines. The one time my family has flown Spirit there was a crushed taco salad in the pull-down desk, and the whole plane smelled vaguely like baby powder. American buffets. Ryan's, Golden Corral, Old Country Buffet, etc. I worked at one. Trust me. Do not. Edit. Added OCB. Home Advisor. I'd swear it is just advertisements with fake reviews. I got a horrible contractor for a kitchen through them. It took over a year. They had 4.8 stars and hundreds of reviews on Ha. They lost their BBB status in the process. I had to get the state to threaten their license, just to get them to finish. Dell, for laptops anyway. They have this devious little feature. The charging cable has a thin data wire inside that tells the computer the charger is from Dell. If you plug in a charger that does not have this, even if the voltage is correct, the computer will throttle the CPU way down by sending false overheating signals, and will only increase the battery charge if the machine is off. To make this way worse, that data pin wears out and breaks very easily, and even if your charger still works, which it often does, it is borderline unusable. Since you can only get a replacement from Dell, replacement chargers are unusually expensive. This feature cannot be turned off in any intended way. There is a program you can use to bypass it by disabling the specific type of thermal CPU throttling they use, but that only works on Intel CPUs. If you have an AMD, tough luck, and even if you don't, you shouldn't have to disable hardware safety features using third-party software just to use hardware that is perfectly functional except for one unnecessary part that is designed to break. Never Again restaurant was Jamie Oliver's Italian. Bloody awful menu, completely pretentious trite. I think they all closed down. Samsung for putting menu ads on my TV that I paid for. Soon after she left me in 1998, my ex-wife wanted to meet for a post-mortem conversation. I suggested we meet at Pizzeria Uno. About 20 minutes into our agonizing conversation, she looked around and said, "Wait. You hate Pizzeria Uno?" I replied, "I sure do. I'm not going to ruin a place that I like with terrible memories. I'm never entering a Pizzeria Uno again. And I haven't." Best Buy. I bought a washer and dryer there, and I paid for installation. The guy came out, installed them, turned them on, and left. The washer started flooding my laundry room within minutes. I called them back, and they said they couldn't come back to fix it. They're just bring me a new washer in a few days. New washer comes, gets installed, and again the guy leaves even though I asked him not to. Again, it floods my laundry room. Again, they won't come back even though it's just a few minutes later. They said they'd bring a new one in a few days, but I said duck it. I told them to take the washer and dryer back, and I'd purchase them elsewhere. It took them a whole week to come back and get them, and even then only after I threatened to put them outside. When they finally took them back, I got a refund of 1 cent. 1 ducking cent. I had to spend hours on the phone with them to get the full refund amount. Then, they didn't refund me for the hoses, which they took back, and the installation, that flooded my laundry room twice. It was another few hours on the phone to get them to give me that money back too. Bought a new washer and dryer at Costco later. Came the next day, installed in minutes for free, and worked great. Was even cheaper than Best Buy. Seriously, duck Best Buy. Longhorn Steakhouse. Reason: all but 2 people in our party of 15 people got horrid food poisoning. Mine was so bad that I threw out my back from vomiting and retching, and couldn't take pain medicine without throwing it up. So I couldn't sleep because of having intense stomach and back pain that lasted a week. Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. You know why. Epson printers, duck them in the ask with a cyan-colored pendies. Duck U2 Comcast or Xfinity or whatever. I'll suck a pendies on Broadway before I ever give you shit-eaters a penny. The local Chinese buffet after violent food poisoning. Angel soft toilet paper. It might as well be called shitty fingers. Skullcandy headphones. Bought a pair once, they broke, got them replaced, they broke, got them replaced, they broke, gave up. Didn't do anything out of the ordinary with them, I'd pull them apart a bit to place them over my head and snap, 2 pieces.